Hey everyone, welcome to Agriculture in the Classroom, Newfoundland and Labrador. Today we'll be visiting a hydroponics farm on beautiful Fogo Island. You will get to meet the Buddens, father and son farmers, to see how they grow a variety of fresh produce, including lettuce, kale, and turnip greens all year round. You will also see how the seedlings are planted, grown, and harvested, and then packaged for the customer. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Living Water Farm. We are a controlled environment, indoor hydroponic farm. Myself and my father, Hayward Budden, we run this farm year-round here on Fogo Island, growing produce for local restaurants and grocery stores throughout central Newfoundland. A few Christmases ago, I had a little hydroponic countertop unit given to me, and it really inspired me when I saw how well those plants grew in hydroponics. It was my first sort of dabbling into this type of growing. To be honest, I haven't had hardly any success trying to grow things outside or in my garden or in the house in soil, and then this little unit just amazed me. And it's in my nature to sort of pick that thing apart, figure out how it worked, duplicate it, and then I kind of fell in love with the idea of being able to grow the things that I wanted and to grow them in a way that I could watch it happening. I could take care of the plants, so that's sort of what started the whole thing. Here at Living Water, we grow a wide variety of plants. Primarily, mostly, it's all green, leafy vegetables. So our main things will be items like romaine lettuce, leaf lettuce. We grow a bunch of different types of leaf lettuce. We also grow turnip greens, rutabaga greens. We grow a lot of kale. We also grow things like beet leaf, sorrel, and herbs like basil, cilantro, thyme. We're experimenting with cabbage greens as well. So we grow a wide variety of items. In fact, we've also tested our equipment for other crops to see how they would do in here. So we use a hydroponic technique known as nutrient film. So the water enters in through a float valve system. When the valve comes up, the water stops. The water comes in here. We add the food that the plants need directly into this water. We monitor this. We add there's air stone bringing oxygen to the plants, and there's a pump that brings the water up, and the water comes up through the pipe. So you see our water is coming up from our pump and flowing into the bed. And we can regulate this as well if it's too fast. And then the water enters the pipe, circulates through, and back down to the reservoir. And then the plant itself, this is a beet plant. You can see its root goes right on down somewhere. So he's getting everything, plant gets everything it needs from the water as it circulates through the equipment. It's all a closed system, so the water that goes into this equipment only can come out when the plants are using it. That allows us to save on water. We don't have our water running off into the water table or into the ditch or whatever. Our water comes in and it's used directly for the plants and nothing else, which also saves a lot of water. So we monitor everything, give our plants everything they need. The amount of light is regulated, the temperature in the building, the humidity in the building, that's how moist the air is, and all the nutrients and the acidity in our water is all monitored. So essentially, we give our plants the best day of the year, every day of the year. One of the main advantages for us to be growing hydroponically is the speed that everything will grow. Generally speaking, hydroponically grown plants grow between 20 and 30% faster than conventional farming, which would be outside in the field. So this is some young romaine lettuces that we've been growing for the last, they've probably been in here for about a week. And so now you can see their roots are long enough that they can go into the adult bed. So from here they'll move over to one of the big beds, and then they'll really start to grow. Because we're able to control for all the environmental factors and give the plants the best day every day, it really helps to speed things along. So for example, a typical leaf lettuce that might take, say, 60 days or 2 months from seed to harvest outside will probably go from seed to harvest for us in around 45 days. Something like a turnip plant, would be able to grow from seed to our first harvest from that plant in probably 6 to 8 weeks, which really speeds things along. And because we're harvesting for leaves, some of those plants, we don't need to rotate them out right away. We will just gently take the leaves from the plants, leave the plants healthy, and let the new leaves fill in where the old ones came off. So some of our plants, even though they will start to produce early, they'll also last longer. So we might get 4 or 5 harvests from a lettuce plant, or even a dozen from something like a turnip or a rutabaga. So I'm just going to show you how we go from seed to hydroponics. So we use what's called coconut coir. It's just coconut fiber that we use as a substrate, as a growing material for our seeds. The reason we use this is because it composts very slowly, which restricts the possibility of any soil-based pathogen or any kind of thing that might hurt the plants. So we use this to start our seeds in, and then I'm going to actually plant some cilantro in here because we need some new cilantro plants soon. So we'll just sprinkle them in. We don't have to be too worried about being particular about it. And then cover them up a little bit. Make sure they don't move around too much. We just put our seed in here, and then we just make sure that they're sprayed with a bit of water. And so then when the seeds start to come up, like these ones here, this is arugula seed and some basil. So we would just gently disturb them a little bit so that the roots don't break. And then carefully pull up the baby plant. You see his root. And then I'll just rinse them off, just get most of the coconut fiber off. And then we have a little sponge, just soak that a little bit, just so that it's damp. We put the baby plant in real carefully, like that. And we put them in one of our little cups. So different plants take different amount of time to go from seed to ready to go into the bed. Generally like a lettuce, about a week, or 5 days. About 5 days for a lettuce to go from seed to ready to go in hydroponics. Just tuck them into his little cup, roots down here. Then he would just go right into one of the hydroponic beds. So growing hydroponically offers us some really good advantages as a farm. One of the main ones being that we can grow all year long. So it doesn't really make a difference to us what the weather is like outside. We have planting and harvesting seasons all the time. Every day we could be putting in seed or harvesting or both. So that really extends us to a year-round operation, which is wonderful because then our customers can get used to having high quality, fresh, cut today produce in their store shelves and under tables. So that's wonderful for our customers and for us. Another great thing that we love is that it's so clean. You know, I can come to work dressed however I want. I don't go home dirty. There's nothing heavy to work with. There's no mud. You know, if I need to get down on my knees and work on something, I don't ruin my pants. So, you know, it's great. So there's a lot of advantages to hydroponics.